Boris Johnson is set to repeal the Fixed-Term Parliaments Act (FTPA), which according to historian David Starkey was a catastrophic modification of Britain's constitution. Prime Minister Boris Johnson will reclaim powers to trigger an early election. The government has not had full control over the timing of an election for a decade, since the Cameron-Clegg coalition passed the FTPA in 2011. Under the Act, a general election is scheduled for the first Thursday in May of the fifth year after the previous vote, although there are situations where an election can be called earlier. The two most important scenarios where a general election can be earlier are a vote of no confidence in the government, and a vote of 2/3 of the House of Commons. Before the Act was passed, the power to determine whether a general election should be held early was exercised by the Prime Minister. The Act transferred this power to Parliament. However, in today's Queen's speech, Her Majesty announced the repealing of the legislation. Speaking on BBC Radio 4's Westminster Hour, Leader of the House of Commons Jacob Rees-Mogg said, "I am glad to say the FTPA will be repealed. That's already been drafted and that is something we will be looking at in the next session. It will restore the status quo ante, it will ensure we have the Constitution acting properly and don't have the absurd shenanigans we had in 2019. The problems of the Act were indeed highlighted 2 years ago when Parliament became completely deadlocked over Brexit. Mr. Johnson demanded an election, saying it was the only way to break the impasse, but was unable to secure enough MP votes. Eventually a shift in the Scottish National Party (SNP) allowed him to go to the country, and he scored a huge 80-strong majority in December 2019. Famous constitutional historian and Brexiteer David Starkey strongly criticised the Act in an exclusive interview with Express.co.uk. He said back in 2019, "You should have a general election, and the fact we are not having one is by another catastrophic modification of our constitution." The FTPA. What is striking about this is that there was something absolutely similar in 1641, which is the thing that enables the Long Parliament to sit right through the Civil War and turn it into the Rump Parliament. Until finally it is driven out by the military dictator Oliver Cromwell at the point of a pike.